It's ramen day today. Today we're spending all day at sea. We're going between Sydney and Brisbane. The way this cruise works is that we have 2 ports in a row where we pick up passengers. And this one's mainly going to close to around Papua New Guinea and a bunch of islands around there. Not a bad way to have lunch, I'd say. I just finished the trilogy, The Hunger Games, so I was looking for a new book, and one of them offered to me was Ender's Game, and so I just started reading that on my Kindle, and so far I'm really liking it. I'm getting a lot more into reading than I thought I would. I wasn't a huge reader in school, but you know, now that I'm living on a ship and I started reading Hunger Games, and I just kind of fell in love with reading again, so now I'm getting a lot of books on my Kindle and really enjoying that. So I kind of wanted to talk a little bit about what I do on the ship. Right now it kind of just seems like I'm a passenger just doing whatever I want, but actually I'm a singer. So as a singer on board, I am what's known as a production vocalist. So there's a cast of 15 of us. There's 4 singers and 11 dancers. I think I did that math right. Together we travel in what's known as a triple contract, which is where there are 3 ships involved and we all travel as a cast to each ship, performing basically the same shows within that time. Look at this. What is this? This little... oh. Anyway, 5 shows. We're doing 5 shows on this ship, as well as what are called piazzas, or bumpers, which could be anything from like a little snippet of one of the shows that we're doing the next day, or a completely different kind of show with some selections of songs that we sing, and there's some dancing in the lobby. There's also a show called The Voice of the Ocean, which is a version of the show on television called The Voice, but tailored to a cruise ship. It's a really fun time. As a singer, I get to sing backup vocals for the guests that audition and make it to the finals of The Voice of the Ocean, and then other times I get to be what's known as a coach, which is someone who gets to sit in one of the big rotating red chairs and give feedback on how well they did. So other than that, when we're not performing, we can basically do whatever it is we want to do. We can work on projects, talk to passengers, or just adventure around the ship. You know, have a cabin day where you stay in. Everything's pretty much up to you. It's pretty much what I consider the best job ever right now. So right now, seeing as I have a complete day off, I'm pretty much trying to figure out my own routine about what my daily life is going to be like on this ship. Oh my gosh, I just realized I was in Sydney yesterday, and I shot a couple clips about that. We were actually going, well, I had been to Sydney once before, and that was when we were getting on the ship for the first time. However, we really didn't get to explore much of the city outside just being around the pier and the opera house. So here's a little bit about what was going on yesterday in Sydney, mainly searching for Wi-Fi. Alright, so we just left the ship in Sydney, and we are currently at coffee shop number 1. One of our missions for today is to find really good Wi-Fi, and Alicia gets to post her vlog. Right now we're at a place called the Fine Food Store, which apparently looks amazing. There's everything from like Belgian waffles to roast pumpkin. Oh my goodness. The craziness. It's a great breakfast place so far. So far the Wi-Fi is not working out though, so maybe it might just be today, or if there's a bunch of people on the network right now. But we'll figure it out. Anyway, this is stop number 1. We're now at Starbucks. This is about maybe our second, third, hey Nika, look at a cafe for internet, and I'm gonna go send you to Alicia for an update on the Wi-Fi report.
Wi-Fi update, no Wi-Fi here at Starbucks. 4 megabytes per second to download anything, which is like nothing. very, very slow. So we're gonna move on to the Apple store to see if we have Wi-Fi. Right back to you in the studio.
So as you can see, so far it's a no-go, but we're getting somewhere. At least we're eliminating the places that we can't go to. In order to get Wi-Fi at the Starbucks, you have to buy a drink and then you get an hour with your personalized code. So, I don't know. So far, Wi-Fi hunt's been pretty tough in Sydney, but we've got a couple other chances to try. And the Starbucks coffee is pretty good, so good on ya. In the end, searching for Wi-Fi in Sydney at the coffee shops that we looked up online didn't work out very well. It seems as if you had to pay mostly for it for slow internet, or if you got anything for free, it was like an hour long at a slow rate, or you know, the free Wi-Fi at the mall was just capped off somehow. Very different in Sydney, Australia than it is in, say, New York or LA. However, we did find a place, and that was the Apple Store, and made a couple friends who worked there, sat down at the Genius Bar, and got to get most of our interneting life done. So all in all, it was a little bit of a stressful day, but nice to be able to explore. We got some shopping done. I got a new hat and some other stuff that I get to show you later. And overall, I think it was just a pretty good day in Sydney, Australia. I can't wait to go back. Sydney is going to be our main port of call for a couple more cruises, at least for, I want to say, the next month, maybe 2. So going back to the same place is great because on a cruise ship, we don't spend very much time in one place, especially when it's, you know, our turnaround day, when the main job is to get all the paperwork done for the ship and unload and load passengers back on, getting the ship ready for the next cruise and starting the next voyage. So being able to go back there a couple times is great because then you can explore different parts of the city and find new and exciting things to do. Alright, this looks like a nice blank wall. This is the second part of the video. I just kind of wanted to explain a little bit about what ship life was like, and trust me, there's plenty more to go around. Sydney was a really great time. One thing I can say about Sydney is that there are tons and tons of coffee shops. I feel like most of Sydney is, at least the part that we saw, was shopping and coffee shops. So many coffee shops. It's kind of like heaven for me because I love coffee shops. I'm all about coffee shops. Coffee shops.